here. Now in this video, what we're going to do is just add our simple graphics. Now we've just got a couple things that we're going to do. We're going to go over to the graphics panel or workspace, and the reason why is because that will show us, number one, the essential graphics panel. Now at the beginning of this, if I really wanted to, I could probably find a title or something like that, and if I liked one of these titles, I could go ahead and then add it on. Now the problem is that I don't really know what this title looks like until I add it over here. So let's just see what happens if I add it. It says, hey, by the way, you're using this source, and I can sync that font if I want to. So I'll bring it in, why not? So here's what happens if I watch this title. That's a really, really simple title. It doesn't look like there's much going on there at all. So let's see if I can find something else. Yeah, this one's kind of cool. So let's bring that one in. And I'm going to pull my graphics, central graphics. Oh, sure, why not? I'll sync the font that I need for that one as well. Ooh, this one is more animated, I think. There. Now you can see that one animates. So if you look at this real quick, you'll see that we've got some different shapes and all sorts of stuff, and there are keyframes for that shape in there as well. So what essential graphics are is basically just different layers that have been added in, either shapes or text, that are added into that effects control panel, and you can add basically anything you want. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of that because I'm going to create my own graphic instead of using this. All I need to do is locate the title tool, and I'm going to go to the beginning here, and this is going to be my first title, and that's going to be Visiting Rome. So let's get that just the right size. Looks like maybe 80 might be a good size. Alright, it's got a little bit of a drop shadow on it, which is kind of cool. Maybe I want to take that drop shadow and make it maybe one of the colors that are in here. That might be kind of cool. So let's actually try and give it that kind of yellowish kind of color on purpose. And now I'm going to go to the fill color, and I'm going to choose one of these darker colors from the building itself. That way it kind of matches the color pretty well. Okay, so there's my first text. It's a bold Adrian text, and then I'm going to add in yet another text element, and I'll call it a journey in photos. So I'm going to give this thing a subtitle. Let's make that maybe 48. There we go. If we wanted to, of course, we could use a different font or something like that. Just be aware, one thing is that you don't want fonts to be really, really thin and really, really small in video because they just don't work great. But maybe I can find Open Sans. So Open Sans regular. So there's a nice little one, and so let's do 42. Make it just a little bit smaller. Beautiful. So there's going to be my quick title, and of course if I wanted a line, I could do that stuff in here as well. I think you can draw some other elements. So I could draw a rectangle. How about have a rectangle around the two? Let's make the stroke one of the colors from here, and let's take off that shadow. Let's make the 4. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty nice, right? Now, what I'm going to do is go to the text here, and I'm going to do some animation with it just like I would with anything else. So I need to go and find the position, scale, and opacity. And we're going to set opacity and position. And then I'm going to go forward a little bit and then set new keyframes for those two items. So now what I need to do is I want it to go backwards because I need Oh, that's the text. Come on. Let's take that up a little bit. So I want to take it maybe 20 pixels up. That means I want to go to 223. So now it's gone up just a little bit. Now I'm going to go to my other text, which is right here, and do the same sort of thing. So I want to get position, and I want to get opacity. I'm going to go forward to the same amount of time as the other one, and then create the same things here, because that's where it's going to end, just like it is now. So I go back to the beginning, and this is going to add 20 pixels. So 333 or something like that. So maybe like that. Maybe that'll work. Now I want to go to my opacity, change it to 0, and change the opacity to 0 for the other one. Now if I watch those at the same speed, that's what happens. Now what I need to do is do my easing on these keyframes. And let's do the ease in. And then I can also offset these just a little bit, just by dragging this one back a little bit later. And now you'll see we get a lot more interesting animation there. So there's a very simple way to add my graphic. And then of course we want that thing to end. I'm going to make that end, so it's going to... There we go. Whoop, I want to make sure that that ends at the exact same time that the other one does, so I can tick that off right there. Whoa, something... Memory is going a little wacko here. Welcome to using Premiere. Every once in a while you want to save and hope for the best, because Premiere will do some funny things graphically on you sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to go to the end. Now the reason why is because here I've got, if you remember, this sources file from before. This is actually what I want to bring into the end of my project. So at the end I'm going to go to my type tool, click on it, put in a whole bunch of text, go ahead and make this stuff really simple overall. Maybe take out any kind of shadows that you might have. And it'd be really nice if I could actually have this text go up. Right now it's just really simple. I might want to go ahead and maybe tell it to be aligned to the center, and then move it back into the center of my view. One way to get that centered, well, I guess that'll work. One of the things that I wanted to look at for pinning, there's pinning to the video frame. One of the things that I wanted to get going here was a movement of this particular one. There it is. Yay, I knew it would happen one place. So now you can see, it's weird. When you click on it, you can't see it, but then you click off of it, and you can see it's still selected, but now it shows me what I want, which is roll. And I'm going to have it start off screen and end off screen, which means it's going to do this and fade in at the end of my video. And you can wait, hopefully maybe you have a little bit of time, like mine is a very abrupt editing, ending. And so this might happen right after the end, or maybe we want to fade out this audio over a longer period, which means I could maybe do one of those, the cross dissolves there at the end, and then I could make that thing longer. So let's see if I make that happen over a much longer period. Start to fade out, and then we can put our graphics in there and we can fade that over a longer period of time, and you'll see that works out pretty well. So it's a really nice speed overall. It's not bad. Of course, we're not seeing this thing at the full high def. So if we take that up to full resolution, it should look a little bit better as it moves. But you just want it to move at a pace that you can still read it fairly well. So that basically concludes some of the basic things that we're going to do in here. One of the things that I should have pointed out is, of course, there is some color correction stuff that you can do. You'll see this one's a little bit bright, maybe. If you want to go to the color and start playing with that a little bit, it's really, really, really nice. Like, it's super colorful right now, which is really cool, but maybe that's a little bit more than I wanted. Maybe I want to tone it back a little bit. You can change the temperature a little to do that. So go ahead and play with the Lumetri color so that you can try and balance out the images that are in your project and get the colors working well together. And so that's pretty much it for the project and for everything that we've got to do when it comes to the Ken Burns effect. The only thing left that we have to do is render it out. So that will be in the next video.